Here's what's coming up on Western Sports Roundup. The College National Finals Rodeo is about to get underway in Casper, Wyoming. One of the most dominant collegiate teams headed that way. The rodeo coach will join us to tell us what to expect about Casper.
And speaking of that coach, one of his students made a pit stop at the Xtreme Bulls in Sisters, Oregon on his way to the college finals and picked up that $12,000 win, bumping himself up in the rookie standings.
Hey, that's not the only Xtreme Bulls event to talk about. There was another one right here in the state of Texas, over in East Texas in Gladewater, and a very familiar name was the champion there. We'll tell you about that and a whole lot more coming up on Western Sports Roundup.
He's trying to win the PBR World title and the PRCA.
Jumper time, come on. Crimber riding like he's supposed to. This guy is a stud. Yeah, spur, show off, get off, yeah.
Well, howdy everyone, and welcome inside of our Cowboy Channel studios right here in the heart of the stockyards in Fort Worth, Texas. I'm Ty McClary alongside the one and only Sierra Spratt. That's right, Cowboy Channel fans. You know her from Rodeo Live. You know her from the pre-shows at rodeos all across the country, but it is her first day on Western Sports Roundup. Sierra, welcome to Western Sports Roundup.
Thank you. What an intro I got, too. I paid him to do that, but I still appreciate it. You nailed it first take.
Well, thank you. 20 bucks, I'll do anything, just about right there. Glad to brag on her. Glad she's a part of our show. Sierra, we got to get into some big news because last night it kicked off a big week worth of rodeo action in Sisters, Oregon, the Xtreme Bulls event. Of course, the rodeo will get underway tonight and follow through the rest of the week. You can catch it all right here on Cowboy Channel, but let's tell them who the champs were in the Xtreme Bull riding.
Coming in fifth place, it was tied between Mason Space and Hayden Welsh. You know Hayden, of course, from that rookie race, currently second. They were both 85 points to come out fifth place last night.
Yeah, that's the way they kicked it off right there. Look at that money, though. I want you to pay attention as we go through these results. $2,538 for each of those guys. That was tied for fifth. Of course, now we're going to take a jump down to third place tie. Two guys to visit about here. Jeff Burtis has only been to a couple of rodeos in May, but boy, did he get June kicked off just like he would want. The other guy that placed with him, a former world champion.
Absolutely, we know him, Josh Frost. He's kind of on the comeback trail as well. He's been battling some injuries. We've seen him win in all types of setups, but he is back fully healthy and showing it here in the arena.
He is. He's inside the top 40 in the world standings. Let's go to the number 2 man at the Xtreme Bulls event in Sisters. It was Tristan Mize, 86 points, just outside of the top 15 right now in the world standings. Number 17. Not only did he win second here, you watched him win the rodeo in Nashville and Music City just a couple of weeks ago.
I did. He came out $10,000 richer nearly from that rodeo. He was 88 points back in Nashville, and he is no doubt pulling in that momentum here to come in second place.
Yeah, but the guy with all the momentum after it all wrapped up in Sisters at the Xtreme Bulls is Ire Morrison, the young rookie, one of our top rookies of the year. He's number 5 in that Resist All rookie race. Oh, by the way, number 25 in the world standings now thanks to this first place win, 87 points on Corey and Lang's Kiss the Fire. This guy, not only what he did at the Xtreme Bulls event last night, he's got the bull that we just talked about with Hayden Welsh placing 5th on. He's got that bull here at the rodeo tonight in Sisters. So hopefully he can just continue that extreme ride from last night right into the rodeo action tonight. But remember, I talked about the money. Ire Morrison, $12,000 richer for that young rookie for this season. That's what it looks like at the Xtreme Bulls event. And of course, the rodeo action getting underway tonight. Well, since we're speaking about the Sisters Xtreme Bulls, why don't we just visit with the guy that if you joined us on Cowboy Channel last night, you heard his voice inside the arena. That is the announcer of the year in the Professional Rodeo Cowboy Association, Wayne Brooks. Wayne, thanks for joining us here on the show. It's always good to talk with you. How was the first night of Sisters, getting a whole week's worth of rodeo action kicked off?
Well, I'll tell you what, it is bigger and better than ever before this year. They've got record entries, the most they've ever had. I think the number 666. And they added $30,000 in event times 2, I believe, in the team roping. So it has grown from 4 performances for 20 years to now 6 performances. That includes that Xtreme Bulls. And I was a little shocked after I got into the secretary's office with Edie Longfellow there last night to learn that paid over 12, almost 13,000 to the number 1 guy. And he's in the rookie race right now. So what a shot in the arm for Ire Morrison. With that Xtreme Bulls win. But yeah, it was a great night. A little bit cool. You needed a vest or a jacket by the time we were done. but our weather has straightened out. It's beautiful and sunshiny and green, and this is one of the most picturesque places on the planet for sure.
Now, Wayne, I was going to ask you then, I assume you have a couple of top favorites. I mean, you're on the road nearly all year. I gotta say, Sisters has got to be up there, at least in a top 5, just for the views alone.
It is, and I've got so many great friends and great memories here. You know, when my girls were little, I've been here over 20 years. So when my girls were little and my boy was little, we had the motor home, and we'd leave here on Sunday evening and head straight for the beach and spend a couple of days on the Oregon coast. And it's just a fabulous place to be. Great people, great rodeo, great fans, sold out every performance. And one of the things here that I think is worth mentioning, that they're so very fortunate here in Sisters to have it this way, is they own their own property. So, you know, there's no idea of who's going to pay for the improvements or who's going to add more money to the pot. They do it all themselves, and they're a nonprofit. So that's a beautiful shot right there. That is the arena, and yeah, you can't get any better backdrop than what we've got here.
All right, Wayne, so I got to know this. I've actually never been to Sisters in all my years of going to the rodeos. I never competed there, never went there. I was always somewhere else at this time of the year. But I want to know, you spoke of the fans just moments ago, and you're right. I remember from years past doing the rodeo broadcast here from our studio, which I'll be doing it tonight, by the way. It's a packed house. At almost every performance looks like a packed house. But I want to know from you as the announcer, is it a packed house of seasoned rodeo fans, or is it some tourists in and out? Is it a good mix of both? How is it there?
A mix of both. And as you know from being at live events, both you guys, that's the best mix you can have. We're probably 60 or 70% veteran fans that just show up every year no matter what. And then probably 25, 30% first timers. And so what that creates is a fan base, kind of like Pittsburgh Steelers fans. This time of year in the springtime in Sisters, it could be rain, snow, cold, hot, it could be 100 degrees. So you never know how it's going to be. And they're like Pittsburgh Steelers fans. They just get on a heavier jacket and come on out and scream and holler and have fun. It's just a fun location.
Now, Wayne, I haven't gotten to go to Sisters either. I got to know, are you up there in the crow's nest, or are you down there on horseback? Because we can see it either way. What are you there at Sisters?
I was horseback for about 17 years. And then just about 3 or 4 years ago, I moved up to the crow's nest. They built a new announcer stand and improved some things up there and made a little bit more room. So, yeah, it's nice to be in out of the weather for a change. So it's just a great place to hang your hat for a week.
Sierra, I'll just tell you that doesn't have anything to do with Wayne getting a little more age on him, wanting to spend more time in the crow's nest than a horseback. It's nothing to do with that. It's all about the nice crow's nest there at Sisters. I get it, Wayne. I understand. Wayne, seriously, though, you never slow down. I mean, I don't care if it was me talking with you 3 months ago during San Antonio and Austin, and then you get into Clovis, California, and all those rodeos in April. But this really is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is kind of the start of your big summer run. I mean, you're right here on the verge of, when you finish at Sisters on Sunday, you're basically going to be headed to Reno in the wildest, richest rodeo in the West. Is it kind of encouraging for you? Are you excited? Are you looking forward to this big summer run of rodeos?
You know, I am, and I think that all rodeo cowboys and cowgirls can understand this aspect. A week ago, before I left the house, I was just dreading it. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, the miles, and I'm gone away from home for 3 months. But I try to keep my schedule kind of a little bit quiet, because I think I've probably got the best schedule of anybody going down the road. My summer is just incredible, and yeah, like you said, I go from here to Reno, and then up to Calgary, and down to Salinas, and then over to Helena, Montana, and it's we've been blessed. Let me just put it that way. We have really been blessed.
And you've really definitely shown a lifestyle that I think some of your children are wanting to take after. Your son Ace is an up-and-comer rodeo announcer, and you mentioned earlier that he's in Cody right now and got a really good gig going on right now.
He is. He's excited. He's got 6, 8, 10 events lined up for the summertime, and just to leave Texas when it's getting hot right now, and I think it's supposed to be 96 at my house today, and the humidity's pretty high, just to get out of the heat and be kicking around Wyoming and Montana for a couple of months. That's a young man's dream. I mean, that is just living your best life right there.
Will you do me a favor and call Ace and see if I can go hang out with him and Cody? Because Lampasas, Texas, or Cody, Wyoming in the summer, I'll take Cody any day of the week. Wayne, looking ahead to the rodeo this week, of course, the bull riding, obviously, last night in the Extreme Bulls event. Tonight starts all the pro rodeo action through the rest of the week. What are you looking forward to? And I know that is such a roundabout question because you've got some of the top pro rodeo athletes from not only the PRCA but the WPRA as well that are about to join you guys and sisters over the next 5 days, or 4 days, I guess, with about 5 performances of rodeo action. But, I mean, it's top quality, not only contestants and stock as well that's about to be featured there in Sisters.
Absolutely, and because of the money that's available, the fans, the good stock, Mike, Corey, Leslie Lang, they've been providing stock here for over 20 years. I just picked up a sheet of paper that was laying next to me right here with records, and I guess maybe this is one of the things that I look forward to. We had 4 records broken just last year. Riley Webb in the tie down, 6'9", Wacy Shalla in the bareback, 89, Madison Camozzi, barrels, 1709, Danielle Lohman, 2.3. So it just seems like it's getting better and better and better and faster. I had an opportunity to talk with Clay Tryon just for a minute when we were in Austin. And he said, man, when these guys are roping 2 head in 7-something seconds, he said, that's just a whole new level. Yeah. He said he's been around long enough that it's just amazing to him. And, you know, he's one of the most celebrated team ropers of all time. So if that comes out of his mouth, you know it's pretty serious. But it's the same way here. It just seems like it's just gotten better and better as time goes on.
You're exactly right. More money added. It draws the big contestants. There's a look at it, folks. I mean, it gets started tonight right here on Cowboy Channel. Not only is it on broadcast, but it is on Cowboy Plus as well. Starting tonight all the way through Sunday. 2 performances on Saturday. And as I said, when you join in, you will hear the voice of the one and only Wayne Brooks there in Sisters, Oregon. Wayne, it is so good to catch up with you. I know you probably got some more homework to get done before the performance today. Thanks for joining us as always. Good luck in Sisters and good luck on the rest of your big summer rodeo run.
Thank you so much for having me, and put this on your bucket list. Come on up and see us next year.
I need to do exactly that. Maybe we'll get that way for sure. That is Rodeo Announcer of the Year, Wayne Brooks. Stay with us when we come back. It wasn't just about Extreme Bulls out west in Sisters. They had Extreme Bulls event right here in the state of Texas last night, Gladewater, Texas. We will have that recap for you when we return.
And later we have a very special feature showcasing this guy right here, the story of Joe Beaver and his protege, John Douch, who has been lighting up every single arena across the United States. Very exciting to come up later. Stay tuned.
Western Sports Roundup is brought to you by Resistol, the official hat of the PRCA, and Cowboys everywhere.
Western Sports Roundup is brought to you by Rock and Roll Denim. Live boldly. Live in rock and roll denim.
Well, welcome back to Western Sports Roundup. There was not only one Extreme Bulls event last night in Sisters, Oregon, but there was a second one in Gladewater, Texas, just right down the road, where we only had 4 guys make it to the 8 seconds, and those guys took home a pocket full of cash. Starting off strong in 4th place was Waylon Bouquois, a college rodeo regional champion, just a sophomore in college, coming in 4th place.
Yeah, he's on his permit, got him some good money there in Gladewater last night. He also won the rodeo at Kissimmee, Florida last week, placed at Fort Smith the week before that. So the Cajun Cowboy's kind of making a name for himself, even though on his permit. 2 guys in the 2nd place spot. It was a tie, Taylor Allen and Tice Willis, both 85 points.
These are some great rides too, and you know when there's not many guys riding bulls, the pressure increases, but these guys both rose to the challenge and cashed in on it.
They definitely did. Taylor's another Cajun like his fellow Waylon up there at the top. Tice Willis also on his permit. In fact, Tice, according to PRCA, this was his very first PRCA event, and man, what a way to kick it off for him. And our American Hat Positive Time story of the week, brought to you by the American Hat Company, is this guy, John Krember, one of the biggest stories in pro rodeo right now, maybe in the Western sports world. Just won the PBR World Finals in the year just a couple of weeks ago. Now he is making his name in pro rodeo. By the way, he is climbing the standings. Sierra got the win here. He's number 10 in the world, number 4 in the rookie race. Oh yeah, number 5 in the Extreme Bulls race as well.
He's definitely been doing outstanding so far. I cannot wait to watch the rest of his season and see where he ends up coming in surely into the national finals.
I would sure hope so. John pocketed over 9,800 last night there in Gladewater. Back up to the night before, he won a big check winning the Xtreme Bulls event in Weatherford, Texas at Parker County. So you tally that up, he has won over 18,000 in the last 2 days at the 2 Xtreme Bulls event. Remember, Gladewater is going to continue the rest of this week. All the rest of the pro rodeo action gets underway in the first full rodeo performance tonight. That is all available on your Cowboy Plus app, so don't miss that. Of course, that is not the only thing going on in the Cowboy Plus app. As always, it is busy. Not only Gladewater, but Sierra, we're getting ready to head to Woodward, Oklahoma. Slack competition over the last couple of days. First full performance last night.
It's getting exciting already. We've already seen some big scores and fast times starting off here in the bareback riding. Lane McGee, 86 points on Quite Fancy.
Yeah, he has had a pretty good couple of weeks, you might say, for him. He just won the rodeo at Big Spring, Texas, out in West Texas last week. And now if he can hang on for the rest of Woodward, we'll see him. He's top 40 in the world standings right now, but he's got a couple performances to sweat out to see if he stays number one.
In the steer wrestling, Riley Duvall, no doubt chasing another back number going to the national finals. He was on Dr. Pepper, Trevor Nelson's outstanding horse, and great run, 4.1, still holding from slack.
Riley has been to the National Finals Rodeo on 4 different occasions, but we haven't seen him there since 2021. He's been close. He was 19th just last season of 2025, so I know Riley's wanting to get back to the NFR. He's a darn good hazer, too, so he's pretty handy on both sides of the steer in the steer wrestling.
And in the team roping, we got a new team coming in, Tanner Tomlinson and Wesley Thorpe. This kind of was breaking news there for a while. They really seem like they're getting along.
And the thing is, not only are they getting along very well, Sierra, but they need to get along good. Tanner's way up in the standings, right? He's number 3 in the world, but Wesley's got some ground to make up because he didn't go to many of the winter rodeos, got the new partner in Tanner here about a month or so ago. But you're right, we've seen him win just about everywhere over the last month or so. Hopefully that will continue for them through the summer.
And it was 86 points in tag. Bond in the saddle bronc riding on Dakota Rodeo's Smoke Show. What an amazing ride this was.
This kid's on his permit as well. 19 years young from Edna, Kansas. Justin McKee, I hope you're paying attention. That's your old stomping grounds in Edna, Kansas. This kid, he just won the rodeo at Mesquite last week. Remember, Mesquite Championship Rodeo, it just got underway with its whole summer run of rodeo series opening weekend last weekend. If you were there, you were a part of it. You watched this guy win the saddle bronc riding.
And another man that seems like he can't be stopped, that's still holding on from the slack run. This is Riley Webb, 7.5 seconds, and on a new horse that we're not used to seeing. We're going to have to do a little bit digging and find out what this new mount is, but they as well seem like they're getting along just fine.
Sierra Spratt, I don't care if he's riding a pony. Riley Webb is hard to beat. It doesn't matter what this guy's riding. Yeah, he's got 3 or 4 really top quality horses. We know that. We've watched the last 3 world championships go back to this guy in Denton, Texas, but he's looking to hold on in Woodward. That's going to be a tough run to beat. Don't say they can't do it, but they got to beat Riley Webb if they want to move to the first place spot in Woodward.
And in the breakaway roping, it is Josie Murphy with a 2.2 second run in this arena. That is such an impressive time. That barrier is stretched out. These calves tend to run, zig and zag. Josie had a great run, 2.2 seconds.
Former national high school champion. Of course, her brother Macon Murphy's been to the national finals in the tie-down roping. Josie Murphy, she moved ahead of Taylor Munsell, who had the lead from the slack competition. Taylor, by the way, split the win at this rodeo a year ago, but Josie said, nope, not yet. I'm going to be 2-2 and go to the lead.
And in the barrels, it was none better so far than Andy Hayden here, a Prairie Circuit cowgirl, 1698 on the standard pattern. You can see that horse peeling the paint. You can knock him, you just can't knock him all the way down in the barrels. Excellent run by Andy.
She tipped that third one, but as you just stated, Sierra, right here's a good look at it. It's okay. Well, that was actually the second barrel right there, but yeah, she tipped that third one, but it's okay. It was still standing when she left there. Notice that they haven't ridden any bulls just yet in Woodward. Let me tell you something about Butler & Son Rodeo Company. Dakota Rodeo, they bring some bull power there. So that's the reason no qualified rides yet in the bull riding, but that's going to change. We've got 3 performances left to go. And of course, just like Gladewater, you can watch Woodward on your Cowboy Plus app the rest of this week. It'll take you through Saturday night. So check it out. Stay with us. We've got more to get to when we return on Western Sports Roundup. College National Finals Rodeo is about to get underway in Casper, Wyoming. The head coach of Western Texas College will join us.
Take him to Casper and go all the way. What do you accredit all that success to?
Well, just the support of the community. I mean, we wanted to represent the community because it's been about rodeo for our campus since day one of the opening of the doors at Western Texas College. And whenever some of the other programs moved off campus or were no longer on campus and stuff, and they were back and forth, but the sport of rodeo has always been part of Western Texas College. So that's just representing that program and what Bob Doty, I contributed a lot of it to Bob Doty because of the foundation that he had set. And it, like I'd said in one of my other interviews, I mean, it was just me taking what he had put together and then just keep building on what was there because I had a great foundation to work off of.
Greg, you and I have been friends for a long, long time. In fact, a lot of folks may not even know this, but behind the scenes at Cowboy Channel, you have always been so gracious for the last handful of years to give all of us updates throughout the season on your kids and what's going on with the students, especially when they're over in the pro rodeo game. And we're talking about them just like talking about Ira Morrison winning the Xtreme Bulls last night at Sisters. He's one of your college rodeo athletes. But with that being said, you have also poured your heart and soul into these students for 29 years. And I want to go even beyond the rodeo arena because, yes, it's about winning national titles and all that comes with your job, but pouring your heart and soul into their life is as much of a rodeo coach's job as it is anywhere else. And you have done a tremendous job at that all these years. That's got to be something that's going to leave you remembering great things about your time at Snyder, Texas and Western Texas College.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's just unreal. The family feeling you get with each and every individual just about and stuff. And just watching them learn what they've taken from campus, whether it's in the academic world or on the athletic side of things and continue because I've had quite a few that once college rodeo was over with, they went into other stuff and they'd shoot me an email throughout the years just talking about some of the stuff that we covered on the rodeo side, they still implement in their daily life and stuff. So just stuff like that is so meaningful.
Yeah, college rodeo does give so much back even once those 4 or 5 years are over. And going into the professional side of things, Greg, you and I both know that college rodeo is really that stepping stone for success from the mental side, consistency, knowing how much it takes to get to the top. What are you teaching your students year after year to prepare them for their pro rodeo career?
Well, we've always covered the mindset. I mean, it's more than the mindset. Everybody talks about the mental game and mental this and mental that, and there's things that I've come across in my rodeo career with the people I traveled with and was around 24/7. I mean, they were the legends of the sport, and for some reason, I was able to get in with that type of group of guys, and being able to watch and learn. And every one of them was totally different type of character and really approached their success in different ways. So it taught me there was more than one way to get this thing done and to skin a cat, I guess you could say. But taking that and mentally putting that with some of the other stuff I've come across from great athletes in other sports, from speed skating to basketball, hockey. I mean, Lindsey Vonn in the downhill. I mean, you start watching what the greats do, and then I started watching Casey Fields and being around and of course around Tough and Jim and Ty and Lane and that bunch of guys, Bronger, Cody, Lambert. I mean, you start connecting dots on, it doesn't matter what the sport is. They're bringing, and some of them, whether they know it or not, what they're doing. But once you start studying this stuff, you start connecting dots that they're kind of following the same pattern, even though they may look like they're doing it in a different way. it boils down to the same playbook or same blueprint. Blueprint's the better word of putting it. So yeah, that is what I work to bring to the table, to introduce to each and every one of them. And the ones that have bought into it right off the bat, I mean, you can see them pop, what I call popping, real fast. And we've got some freshmen this year that are going to be at the college finals that fit that mold. And we've got some returners that fit that mold. It's just not knowing whenever it's going to truly pay off is the whole deal. You can see it in their performance, but whether it truly pays off, that's the part you really don't have any control over.
Well, we're hoping it's going to pay off for you next week in Casper, Wyoming. College National Finals. Coach Greg Rhodes from Western Texas College. I hope you just have a great week up there. There it is, folks. And you can follow us here on Western Sports Roundup. We'll have updates all next week. It gets underway on the 14th all the way through the 20th is when they'll be crowning their champions. I mean, just greats that I can mention. Damian Brennan, Jacob Lee, some of those great National Finals rodeo talents. Cooper Cook have all came through your program, Greg. I know it's going to be a fun
Dean
week
Thompson,
for you.
And we're praying for Dean.
You got
Dean
that
Thompson,
right.
And he's been in our thoughts every day.
You're exactly right. So many names to talk about there, but maybe some more of them will pop up this week at the college finals. Greg, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck up there in Casper.
Well, thank you guys, Ty, Sierra. You guys do such a great job with this channel and what you're doing for this industry as a whole. I mean, we really appreciate you guys at the Cowboy channel.
Well, we appreciate guys like you too, Greg, and good luck up there, not only with what he's about to do at the College National Finals, but in new endeavor when that all wraps up, being a part of the TBBR Team Series, being a part of the team Wildcatters up there in Oklahoma. Stay with us. When we come back, fun little feature to share with you about that guy, the 8-time world champion, and John Douch, the National Finals Rodeo tie-down qualifier. We'll share that story with you when we return. Roundup. Well, he's an 8-time world champion. In fact, he's the most decorated tie-down roper of his generation. But cowboys like Joe Beaver usually don't have much time to slow down for a 15-year-old kid and a horse that isn't worth riding. But he did. What started out with roping turned into family. Here's more.
The signs say leave it to Beaver at this year's NFR. That's Joe Beaver, and this youngster is smoking them.
Joe Beaver won his first world championship in the tie-down roping in 1985. He would become one of the most decorated cowboys of all time, winning 8 gold buckles. For a generation of cowboys, he wasn't just the best in the sport, he was what the sport could look like. Then one afternoon in Huntsville, Texas, a 15-year-old kid drove up with a horse he was trying to sell.
You know, I met John Douch. They had a little horse they wanted to sell. They were needing money to go to junior high finals. So they called me wanting to sell this horse, and I was like, yeah, I'll look at him. John comes around there, walks in, speaks to me. Hey, John, how are you? Good. He sits down. I said, John, what about that horse? You can ride him for me? No, sir. He said, he crazy. And I said, he's crazy? He said, yeah, he crazy. He no good. I said, good deal. You just sit here.
I had a horse I needed to sell. I didn't like him very much. He wasn't very good for me. And he was like, hey, just come over. I'll try to sell this horse for you, and then you can ride some of my horses. And that's how it started. Honest gets you a long ways than, not telling the truth. So I'd rather, tell the truth and get a good start from the jump.
It stuck from that minute on. I knew him from watching some of the junior stuff, he was young. My wife called me at the office and she said, hey, John's only entered in 1500 tie down. Why did he enter the breakaway in the 1900? I said, I don't know. And she said, well, we're gonna enter. So I went and found, I said, hey, John, said, you want to rope those other 2 ropings? And he's kind of looked, and he's, well, and I said, no, I owe my money. How about Jen and me pay your fees for half? And you, oh, yes, sir. And I said, now, John, this horse I got's not, I don't know, I just bought him, I don't know how good he is. He'll be all right, Joby, he'll be all right. So, sure enough, he wins the 1500 breakaway, the 1500 tie down, the 1600 tie down, and I had a shootout deal for any 1 second. And I'm telling you, this horse was not very good, but he made him look good. He was outstanding. And when he got done, he was over talking to Jenna, and I was doing stuff, and he was getting his money and stuff, and he said, can I come rope next week? And I said, come on, boy. And he's been there ever since. I took him to his first pro rodeos. I took him to his first amateur rodeos. sent him to his first college rodeos. And everywhere we went with him, people liked him. Everywhere you go, people gravitate to John.
Joe's place in Huntsville became John's second home. After school, John would drive over, rope until 8 or 9 at night, drive home, sleep, and do it all over again. Joe paid his entry fees while providing horses and cabs, and told John's parents something he meant completely.
When I first got to Joe's, he was like, whenever you cross this tracks, you're mine. And I took it to heart. So every time I went to Joe's, you know, I always respect him. And the longer I went there, every day I went there, the more our relationship built. Growing up in Huntsville, my parents, they didn't have enough money. And, you know, Joe, he done good. And he knew the ropes and knew different people and helped me get sponsors. And it was pretty cool to have him coach me to get where I need to go. My mom and dad, they took me where I need to go. So they needed someone else to kind of pick me up and take me farther than they could.
John would be at the house. If I had 3 horses, he roped on 3. If I had 7, he roped on 7. I've seen John Douch probably run 50,000 calves in the practice pen, you know, over 10 years. You know, he'd run 50 or 60 a night. And we may not get in until 11 or 12 o'clock. I mean, people think that's crazy, but he'd do it again the next day.
You know, roping with Joe, he don't want you to make any mistakes. And I think, like, when I practice now, I still hear Joe's voice in my ear. But no, I wouldn't say he was hard on me. I feel like I was more hard on myself because I knew what I could do and how I could do it.
If he needed something, that if he could get the 169 blackjack, he had it. And that's how I wanted him to feel. You know, and he never took anything for granted. We lost my son Brody in 2011. John and Kobe came in, and they just came at a time when the light was pretty dim. And all of a sudden there was a reason for it to be bright because I saw these 2 kids, and they're not my kids. But I love them like mine, and I help them all I can.
They was going through a lot, you know. Their son Brody, he passed away, and me and my younger brother, we kind of moved in, and we was, you know, like Joe and Jenna's son. So I feel like that helped with Jenna and Joe getting through life, and it helped us, you know, in life. Not many people get that, and most people, you know, when something like that happens, you know, they need someone to step in and feel welcome. And I know it's hard not to think about it. I'm sure they think about it to this day, you know, it's very hard. But I'm glad me and my brother could, you know, move in and help them and, you know, become one big family, you know.
That's family like you never could pick. And I never thought of them two as anything but family from probably 2 weeks after they were there. John was the first person I'd seen since Brody that I thought I cared enough about and that he appreciated enough and had enough talent to use it to step in and say, you want to do this? Let's do it. I got the money and the resources, you got the talent. Now, what's it going to be? And he just head forward straight into it, never backed off. You know, he'd been so close to winning a go-around. He was 6'9" one year, 6'8", and Chad got him just 6'7", you know. He'd been so close. All right, here we go. Good start. Got a good one and got it on him. John Douch has got him turned. Look out, this could be the run we've been wanting to start with every year. Oh, 7-7. And, you know, I do the commentating, stand there by the box, and after he roped, he'd come back around there, you know, and he punched me in the back. And he said, wait, you know, he's like, what do you think? I said, we're going to wait around tonight. We're going. So when he finally won that first round, man, it was all I could do not to scream through the microphone.
We was walking through the tunnel, I'm going to get interviews, and he stopped and hugged me. I felt like that meant a lot.
And when he circled around the arena, you know, man, I was looking at him, and when I seen him look, I swung my microphone around at him, and he just had the smile of satisfaction. And that's all you want for your kids or for your people you care about in life, is satisfaction and success. And to me, John Douch has found them both. But when he won his first go-around, he had Jenna come up on stage, hugged her, and, you know, thanked for all she did. You know, people all the time say, you know, man, he owes you this and he owes you that. He don't owe me nothing. He's paid back tenfold in different ways.
It's meant a lot to me, you know. There's so many other kids could have had this opportunity, but he chose me.
John Douch has been a huge part of our lives, and he will forever be, whether he ropes one more or whether he makes the finals 10 more times. He's a gift that keeps on giving.
For John Douch in this 2026 season, he's having another good one, just like he always has. You see it there, number 5 in the world standings, trying to qualify for his 6th Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, and I'm just going to bet $5 that he'll probably be back in Las Vegas. We're pretty used to seeing him in the Thomas & Mack Center. Stay with us. We've got more to get to on Western Sports Roundup, including our fantasy guru. Well, at least that's what we like to call him, Jordan Briggs. He's going to join us, get you ready for the big Pro Fantasy Rodeo games that are coming up this summer. That is coming.
He's gonna have some fun. Putting on a clinic tonight, buddy. This is Haley Kinsel from Texas. She came in as the #1 fastest barrel racer on 2 runs at Reno.
Panoka's Stampede. And it's a pop. How about a 2.4 for Colton Schmidt and Sid Sporer here today, 5 and 4.
It is showtime in Greeley, Colorado. Wow! Mitchell scoring! Go get him, Michael. Go get him, Michael. Wow, 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 wow. Look at that.
Oh, that big summer run of rodeos and Cowboy Christmas is right around the corner. If you're a Pro Fantasy Rodeo player, which I hope you are, you better start getting ready. Lots of important dates coming up, lots of important rodeos coming up. And to kind of help us step through all of that, it is time for our Pro Fantasy Rodeo guru to join us here on Western Sports Roundup. Look at that. He's even got a front page news right there and a headshot. Jordan Briggs, I like that. Jordan, I got to know, is that something you built yourself? I mean, you're kind of a technical guy. Is that something you did yourself? That looks really professional.
No, we've got some really talented graphic designers, and we've got some producers that have jokes too. So they kind of come together and make that magic happen.
That's funny. I knew there was something behind that story. Okay, I'll leave you alone about that because I teased you a couple weeks ago on PFR Edge that I don't know if it's Pro Fantasy Guru or student because we're all learning together as we go, but whatever. We'll leave that lay as well. Jordan, let's get serious though because there is some serious dates coming up. There's some serious games coming up. One of them, the entries open at the beginning of this next week.
Yes, sir. Monday is going to be a big day for us. We're going to launch the entries for Christmas in July. They'll stay open all the way through July 1st. So there's a window there where fans can get in. They can study their lineup. They can get their teams. They can change their lineup all the way up to July the 1st.
This is so exciting, and the prizes is what always catches my eyes for these games. I mean, there are things that money can't hardly buy. Jordan, talk a little bit about what is up for grabs and for the winners of these exciting games.
I'm really excited for the prize on this one. This is our NFR package. Like you said, it's some stuff that's either you can't buy it or it's really hard to get, but we're gonna give away a champion buckle to our overall champion. They also get 2 rooms and 2 nights at Resorts World. We have a VIP experience for 4 at the Rodeo Vegas watch party and concerts, which is really awesome. You get to sit down, and after a long day being in Vegas, there's nothing that beats a good seat. And then one of the nights, they'll also get 4 gold buckle tickets to the NFR performance, and they'll also have 4 brand new Rodeo Vegas jackets so they show up looking sharp at Thomas & Mack.
Boy, you are right about that. I mean, those are some prizes that are either pretty much unavailable or very, very hard to come by. So, yeah, there's good reasons to play with Pro Fantasy Rodeo. Jordan, 2-part question for you because we're about to give everybody a lot of information on these summer games and what is all about to start taking place here over the next couple of weeks. So, first part of the question is tell everybody where they can go because I know they're going to have information. They're going to have questions with everything that's going on. Tell them that, but then also we're going to step into our Summer Rodeo Series games and all that, so give us the information on that as well.
All of our games are now available to play when you go to profantasyrodeo.com. You'll see tabs at the top. If you want to play our rodeo picks, which is our free series coming up for the summer run, starting with Reno, you'll just click on rodeo picks at the top. If you want to play the Christmas in July game, you'll click there. We also have a couple of games coming up on the 19th and 20th for the NRHA Derby, and those are a lot of fun. If you watch PFR Edge, you heard us talk about that, but everything can be found at profantasyrodeo.com.
Okay, another important question, possibly even more important, who do you have your eye on coming into these games? I mean, you are the guru, so give us a little bit of insider information here, and who are you looking at here for Cowboy Christmas?
There's a few people that are always going to be at the top just because of their talent level, but when they're at the top, that also means they're expensive. So I like to go into the value picks just a little bit more than I do those top people. And one of the ones that to me is kind of the biggest value of all, Jackie Crawford. She is currently, and this could change by the time we set the lineup, she's currently 14th in the world, which means it's going to cost $20,000 for a fantasy lineup. And this game particular for Christmas in July, you'll pick a full run of everybody in every event, including a healer and header separately. You'll also pick a steer roper, which is unique to the Christmas in July game. But Jackie's going to be one of those ones that shows up. She's a proven winner. I mean, if you're going to cut your saddle horn off so you can compete with your, your pregnant belly, I'd say you're in it to win it. And Jackie is definitely at the top of that list.
Oh, I would agree with that. I mean, she is a world champion with that saddle horn cut off that year right here in Arlington, Texas at Globe Life Field. So, yeah, you bring up a great point there. Now, yes, we're giving everyone lots of information, but the whole point of this is, Jordan, for folks that are either new to Pro Fantasy Rodeo or they've been playing for a long time, this gives them a week or two to kind of study up, to get ready for this big summer run, to get ready for the Reno Rodeo and all these games that are about to get underway. This is a good time for them to kind of study up, start looking at these contestants like Jackie that you just mentioned that would maybe want to be on their team for this summer.
You bet. We've got a bunch of really strong people in the top 15 moving into Christmas in July, and it's kind of important to look at them all the way from the top of the field down to the bottom because you've got a salary. You can't just pick the top guys. And we've got people mid-tier too, like Zeke Thurston, number 8 in the world. He's going to come in at an $80,000 salary. That is, if nothing changes between now and when we set the lineup Monday. Won money 9 of the last 10 rodeos. Aside from the last 2 rodeos, he's been 87 or better in all of those. So he knows how to ride bucking horses. He knows how to win events, and that's all going to pay off on this big, long Christmas in July run.
And see, that is just a little tidbit information that you fantasy rodeo players need to know. Jordan, of course, thank you as always. You can always catch Jordan with us on PFR Edge each and every week right here. In fact, it's every Wednesday on Cowboy Channel. We just dig a little deeper, go into some news that you need to know, especially getting up ready for these big summer games that are about to get underway. Jordan Briggs, thanks for joining us here on Western Sports Roundup. And as far as the fantasy guru parts goes, we're going to leave you with that title for a little while longer. It seems like it's working out for you, so thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'll try to keep living up to it.
Attaboy. We know you can. Jordan Briggs joining us here on Western Sports Roundup. Stay with us. We've got more to get to on the other side of this commercial timeout. The show where we tell you about our top 3 Vetericen headlines, brought to you by Vetericen Clean Treat Heal. We took you to out in Sisters, Oregon, their Xtreme Bulls event last night. One of our Resistol rookies, Ira Morrison, got the win there. Hopefully he can win at the rodeo too, because he's going to be back there tonight in the first real rodeo performance.
And we highlighted the CNFR and Coach Greg Rhodes, the final curtain call for him after 29 years as the Western Texas College head coach. He'll be hanging up his hat going into a different career field after this year's CNFR.
Gladewater, Texas was the home of another Xtreme Bulls event. We told you about the champion. I'm pretty sure John Crimmer could have rode that bull all day long. Not only the PBR world champion from a couple of weeks ago, now he is climbing the ranks in pro rodeo. Number 10 in the world standings, headed up there in the Resistol rookie race as well.
Well, this week coming up on the Cowboy Channel, we got the Sisters Rodeo, the Xtreme Bulls that happened. We got the PRCA kicking off here tonight. It's going to be exciting.
Oh, it definitely is. And, of course, it's going to continue all week. But how about this one? The Ridgeview Pro Rodeo. That is a look at the arena at Briggs, Idaho. My goodness, how pretty is that going to be? That's taking place. It's inaugural year this weekend. Tomorrow night and Saturday night right here on broadcast on Cowboy Channel. You won't want to miss that, folks. That's going to wrap it up for Western Sports Roundup. For Sierra Spratt, I'm Ty McClary. Here in just a little while, Sisters Oregon's going to get underway. We'll see you then.